After witnessing the scene outside, Seo went back to Director Kim and woke him up. Director Kim was extremely exhausted and told manager Seo that he couldn't keep up with everything going on anymore. Sitting beside Seo, he told Director Kim he felt the same way. It would be nice if this were all simply a dream. Director Kim couldn't believe that it was just the two of them remaining, but he thought he should feel relieved that they hadn't been taken by those monsters. Seo simply looked at the confused Director Kim and didn't say a thing, because even he wasn't sure about this. He may have regressed, but in his former life, he had been nothing more than a powerless herb gatherer. Seo then told Director Kim that they couldn't remain in this alleyway forever. So why didn't they head out from here? Director Kim said, "All right," and both of them walked out of the alleyway. But as they stepped out, all the people of that place began staring at them while speaking in some unfamiliar language. Hearing those voices, Director Kim became very confused. He asked Seo, "What are they saying? Sounds like Chinese. Why is everyone whispering while looking at us?" Seo told Director Kim that some of the people were saying the clothes they were both wearing seemed funny. Hearing that, Director Kim was stunned. Seo smiled and assured him not to worry because he understood a bit of Chinese. Director Kim wanted to ask something, but noticing Seo's wounded back, he stayed quiet and said, "That's great." Seo said that, but in truth he had lied to Director Kim. The language those people were using was not Chinese. Other than the fact that they shared the same characters, it sounded completely unfamiliar. In his previous life, Seo had endured the mockery of beggars for 2 months just to grasp the basics of the language. But now there was no reason for that. Seo pulled out the herbs he had gathered earlier and asked Director Kim if they should get some fresh clothes. Hearing that, Director Kim was puzzled and asked how, since he felt the people in this place wouldn't accept their currency. Seo didn't explain anything to Director Kim and simply led him to the city's medicine hall. The medicine hall's owner was astonished to see the ginseng and asked Seo if he was truly letting them purchase such valuable herbs. Seo acted confident and told the owner that those yellow bamboo roots were at least 800 years old. The owner said, "Of course," and added that the roots should be valued at around 15 silver ingots. Hearing 15 silver ingots, even Seo became uneasy, as he had never possessed that much money in his past life. But he kept his composure and urged the shopkeeper to hurry and take the money. The shopkeeper agreed and instantly handed over the silver to Seo. After leaving, Seo and Director Kim first bought some clothes and then purchased a house in the city. Director Kim was surprised to see the house they would be living in. Seo said yes and told Director Kim that starting today, he would teach him the language of this world. Hearing that, Director Kim became very happy and thanked manager Seo. Seo made it appear as if everything was fine. But after bribing a few people for identity plaques and purchasing the land and home, they were left with only 1 silver ingot. He assumed it was because they were in the capital and that's why everything cost so much. While Seo was examining the money, Director Kim noticed Seo's back. Even though he was wearing fresh clothes, due to the injuries on his back, his new outfit had turned red. Realizing how much Seo had done for him, Director Kim suggested to Seo that since they were now in a completely new place, why didn't he just call him by his name? Surprised to hear that, Seo told Director Kim that he was okay with that. Director Kim smiled and thanked him while addressing him by his full name, Seo Yoon-hyun. Later that night, after settling inside the house, Seo explained to Director Kim that the reason he had been able to get all that silver was because he had sold those herbs. Pointing toward the 2 remaining ginseng roots lying in front of him, Seo told Director Kim that they wouldn't have any steady income once the herbs ran out, so they needed to come up with a way to generate money. Hearing that, Director Kim glanced at the ginseng and pondered. Then suddenly, he came up with an idea and suggested to Seo that they use the silver they'd get from selling the remaining herbs to start a business. It was a solid plan. Seo understood that with the money they could earn from this, along with Director Kim's experience from being a director in a mid-sized company, they should be able to sustain a living. But that didn't seem enough. Seo figured that since he had regressed, why not aim higher? He knew Director Kim was a martial arts prodigy, who, after reading some third-rate martial arts manuals sold on the streets, became a martial master in just a few months. Once he picked up more advanced techniques, he became one of the most formidable martial artists in the Yongho. But what if he were to study high-level martial arts right from the beginning? Seo might be able to accelerate the rise of the greatest swordsman in the Yungho by at least 30 years. Thinking of all that, Seo smiled and made up his mind. He would benefit as much as possible while working for him. He informed Director Kim that this was Murim, a realm of martial arts. This immediately caught Director Kim's attention. Seo told Director Kim that no one could predict when the gangs of the Yungho might target them if they launched a business, so shouldn't they at least learn basic self-defense? Director Kim's face lit up upon hearing the words martial arts, but he also knew they didn't teach outsiders their martial arts. So he asked Seo how they would manage to learn. Seeing his enthusiasm, Seo smiled, because as a well-known Murim novel nerd, he already knew Director Kim would be curious. He explained to Director Kim that in this city, there are 7 renowned sections. Among them, the demon-slaying sect, self-binding temple, suppressing birdhouse, and the 7 mysteries sect belong to the orthodox side of the Yungho. Meanwhile, the Wolf Fang Gang, the Dark Knight Association, and the Dragon Fighting Stronghold are seen as unorthodox. The people refer to them as the 4 stars and the 3 demons. The demon-slaying sect primarily trains in sword and blade techniques. The self-binding temple is a Buddhist sect, while the suppressing birdhouse resembles the house sect. They focus on intelligence gathering. The 7 mysteries sect has an ancient legacy and teaches a variety of martial arts. On the other hand, not much is widely known about the 3 demons. It's said they specialize in stealth skills and sorcery, and are involved in many unlawful activities. After finishing his explanation, Seo asked Director Kim which sect appealed to him most. Without a moment's hesitation, Director Kim picked the demon-slaying sect, adding that a martial artist should wield a sword, and a man ought to master blade techniques. Hearing that decision, Seo thought it was only fitting for the man once hailed as the greatest swordsman in his previous life. But Director Kim was puzzled and asked Seo how he knew all of this. Seo chuckled and told Director Kim that he had overheard some martial artists talking earlier. Then, 3 months later, Seo and Director Kim headed to the demon-slaying sect. But the guards blocked them, asking what their purpose was. Seo introduced Director Kim as his elder brother and told the guards that they had heard about the fame of the demon-slaying sect and had come hoping to learn martial arts. The guard of the demon-slaying sect was a strict, muscular man. He glanced at Seo and Director Kim's clothing and assumed they appeared to have a reasonable amount of money. But he told Director Kim that training in martial arts at his age would be challenging. Seo laughed and handed over a silver coin to the guard, asking if he could at least allow them to speak with someone of higher authority, adding that even basic self-defense training would suffice. Like that, by bribing the guard, Seo and Director Kim managed to enter the demon-slaying sect. Inside, they met one of the sect's elders. The elder asked if they were interested in learning martial arts merely for self-defense. Seo responded that they wished to learn the best techniques available, offering a box filled with silver nuggets. Upon seeing all those silver nuggets, the elder accepted, saying he supposed they could be allowed to join as external disciples. But after taking the silver, he added that no special treatment was given to those who entered through donations, and furthermore, they would only accept one of them. Hearing that, Seo was stunned because all that silver was worth just 1 yellow bamboo root, and that was all they were willing to offer. Surprised, Director Kim tried to question the elder if they were being scammed, but before he could say anything further, Seo accepted the elder's terms and thanked him, adding that his brother would be the one receiving the training. Upon hearing that, Director Kim was truly shocked. Then, as they were leaving, the elder asked Director Kim to come out later to the area where all the external disciples gathered. As they walked away, Director Kim asked Seo what was the point if only he would be learning martial arts. He said he might have picked a different faction had he known they'd be that costly. Seo turned back with a grin and told Director Kim not to worry about it, saying it's not like he had ever excelled at sports anyway. He told Director Kim he'd just start a business with the leftover money and support him, so he should simply focus on mastering martial arts. Director Kim was taken aback by that. He couldn't believe how much Seo was giving up for his sake. He told Seo that he would do his best, but Director Kim still had doubts because of his age and wasn't sure if he could truly accomplish much. Seo encouraged him to believe in himself, that he was capable. Director Kim thanked Seo and went to train with the outer disciples. Then, 7 months later, during a competition held inside the sect, all the elders of the demon-slaying sect were both shocked and furious at the sight before them. In just 7 months, Director Kim had defeated every one of their disciples. The elders were enraged, demanding to know how some outsider from nowhere had managed to overcome all their prized disciples in such a short time. The demon-slaying sect was thrown into chaos. What happens next? Stay tuned, the next part is coming soon.